Throughout Obi-Wan Kenobi's life, he has switched lightsaber forms and has even changed some specific parts of lightsaber forms for better use for himself. So, we will get into his full lightsaber form journey in this video. As a Padawan, Obi-Wan was weak. He had a low midichlorian count, he was extremely weak in the Force, not only that, he was a weak lightsaber duelist. Obi-Wan Kenobi put in the work to become a stronger Jedi, and when I say put in the work, I mean it. He worked on his Force ability and saber training way more than any other Jedi in the Temple. Not only that, he was chosen to be a Padawan of Qui-Gon Jinn. Qui-Gon Jinn taught Obi-Wan to follow the will of the Force. Not only that, he taught Obi-Wan to practice in Form 4 Ataru of lightsaber combat. Form 4 was used by Qui-Gon, so he naturally passed this down to Obi-Wan. Form 4 was a very old style of lightsaber combat. This means that for its survival through Force users, Jedi and Sith, it must mean it was a very good lightsaber combat form. And yes, that is true. Form 4 was used in times of the Jedi and Sith battles. It remained mostly effective and useful. However, Form 4 was not without flaws, as in saber combat, the user would fight very aggressively, and on defense, the torso would be very exposed. And this is a weakness that could be exploited by the opponent. We see this in The Phantom Menace when Qui-Gon dies. This is what makes Obi-Wan switch forms, however I'll get into that in a second. The second major issue with Form 4 Ataru was how, when learning and practicing the skill, the user would not practice very much in blaster defense. Though that was not a real big problem, because when Form 4 was created, the Jedi and Sith were fighting and there was no real need for blaster protection. However, when the Sith, quote-unquote, went extinct, the Jedi only had to protect themselves against blaster bolts, and Ataru was not good for that. So the Jedi or Sith would also have to be good at Form 1, which was all about blaster deflection. Now with this in mind, after Obi-Wan fought Darth Maul with Form 4 and narrowly defeated him, he noticed how his master had died because of the lack of protection on the torso. So Obi-Wan decided to switch forms, not only because of the torso weakness, but because BU-1 battle droids were in production and he needed to properly defend himself against blaster fire. So for those reasons, Obi-Wan Kenobi switched to Form 3 Surisu. Not only that, he didn't try to train Anakin to use Form 4. He let him choose, and Anakin picked Form 5. Form 3 was the most defensive form there was. It was initially built up as an add-on to Form 1, as it improved blaster deflection. However, because of the recent rise of the Sith, Form 3 Surisu also added a style to dueling. However, rather than trying to get the upper hand on the opponent, Form 3 focused on outlasting the opponent by preserving your stamina and energy to find a way out of the battle. Now this form might be the most Jedi thing, trying your best not to have one person die from a duel. As Obi-Wan said in the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, Anakin, a Jedi's purpose is to defend life, not take it. However, that line was wrote by Joe B. Harold, the guy who wrote Transformers, so
doesn't count.
Anyway, Form 3 was used by Obi-Wan in Episode 2, The Clone Wars, and Episode 3. As we see in Episode 2, he wasn't very good at his new form, as he was taken down by Count Dooku. Either way, he progressed, and by the time of Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, he was called a Master of Form 3 by Mace Windu. Form 3 Surisu fixed the weak torso problem, and it was a very good style for Obi-Wan. However, in the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, it seems he changed some things up. Even though in the finale he starts off with the iconic opening Form 3 stance, he fights very aggressively and adds Form 4 into his battle. As he still did prefer Form 3 in the battle, he incorporated both forms in his own kind of style combat. We also see the pathetic Form 4 Ataru behind the back block that Obi-Wan used in The Phantom Menace. However, instead of just hitting the lightsaber as Maul did, Vader elbowed him in the face, which was pretty good, because personally, I dislike Form 4. The next duel we see Obi-Wan is the Twin Suns episode of Rebels, where he battles Darth Maul. He starts off with the Form 3 stance, however quickly transitions to Form 4 used by him and his master. Darth Maul thought it would be good to attempt the same move on Obi-Wan as he did Qui-Gon, by hitting his chin and then finishing him. However, Obi-Wan was just deceiving Maul, as he used Form 3, however using the Form 4 opening stance, so when Maul tried that move, Obi-Wan was prepared and used his Form 3 to defeat him. Lastly, in Episode 4, Obi-Wan vs. Darth Vader, I can't really tell what form he's using, because, well, I don't think George was thinking of lightsaber forms in 1977, so I'm not really sure. However, one thing is for sure, that I dislike Form 4. I think it's kind of a sloppy style of fighting, and it's ineffective. I believe Form 5 is much better style, as it uses a similar amount of aggression. However, it preferred using strong and powerful swings. This is why Anakin used it, because of his big stature. It was effective for him. Well, that's all for this video. I might create a video going into all the lightsaber forms. Either way, subscribe to this if this taught you something, which I hope it did, and make sure to check out one of these videos. And always, may the Force be with you.